Hello everyone, welcome to Miss Lee's class. Today we're going to practice solving equations, two-step equations. Okay, look at the warm-up questions. We're going to find x. So remember our final goal. Our final goal is to isolate x. But everyone, to isolate x, we have to do two steps. So I want you to write it down. First step, isolate the term with x. Second, and then isolate x. So look at this. I have 2x plus 5. And we're going to isolate the term with x. This is the term with x. So to isolate 2x, we have to get rid of plus 5. So I'm going to subtract 5 and 5 from both sides. So remember this. Whatever you do on one side, you have to do the same thing on the other side. So subtract 5 from both sides, and you get, this will be cancelled, and you get 2x equals 4. Okay, so what is hiding in between 2 and x? Multiplication is hiding. So to get rid of multiplying 2, we have to divide both sides by 2. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2. Both sides by 2. Then everyone, this will be cancelled. I get x isolated. 4 divided by 2 equals 2. 2 is the answer. So remember two steps. First, you have to isolate the term with x, and then isolate x. Next question. Two steps. We're going to isolate the term with x, and then isolate x. So let's isolate the term with x. To do that, we have to get rid of plus 4. Let's subtract 4. Subtract 4 from both sides. Then 10 minus 4 will be 6. And this will be cancelled. I get x over 3. So everyone, when you have a division bar, this is same as division, right? So if it is confusing, you can just rewrite it. 6 equals x divided by 3. And everyone, our goal, to isolate x. So we're going to isolate x. Let's get rid of the division by using inverse operation. Multiply 3. Multiply 3. Then this will be cancelled. You have x isolated. 6 times 3. That is 18. Next question. Now you have decimal numbers, but nothing is really different. So you still need to isolate x. To isolate x, you have to isolate the term with x first. Okay, so what you're going to do is removing 0.05. So let's do an inverse operation. Let's subtract 0.05 from both sides. This will be cancelled. I get 3x equals 0.21. So 26 minus 5 is 21. So 0.21. Now, to get rid of multiplying 3, I'm going to divide both sides by 3. Both sides by 3. You can use division bar or division sign. If you use the division bar, it will be divided by 3, divided by 3. They are the same thing. Remember that. Okay. 3x divided by 3. Cancelled. Then I have x equals 0.21 divided by 3. That will be 0.07. Okay, let's move to example 1. Again, we are going to isolate the term with x and then isolate x, we have fractions. So I know a lot of you guys still struggling. A lot of you guys are still struggling with fractions. I'm going to do this very slowly. Okay, so first let's isolate 2x. To do that, we are going to get rid of plus 1 over 10. So let's subtract 1 over 10 from both sides. This will be cancelled. I get 2x equals 3 over 5 minus 1 over 10. 3 over 5 minus 1 over 10. Okay, how would you calculate this? What's the first step of calculating subtracting fraction? When you subtract fractions, you have to make the common denominator. You cannot solve this problem as it is. You have to make a common denominator. So I'm going to multiply 2 here to make 10. Alright? Then this becomes 6 over 10 minus 1 over 10. 6 over 10 minus 1 over 10. So what is 6 over 10? 6 over 10 minus 1 over 10. That is 5 over 10. So I'm going to move this over here. 2x equals 5 over 10. Alright. 5 over 10. Let's reduce this. That is 1 over 2. Alright. When we rewrite this, that is 2x equals 1 over 2. Alright, Abby, what's hiding in between 2 and x? Multiplication. So multiplication is hiding. So we're going to divide both sides by 2. Divide both sides by 2. Divide both sides by 2. Then that will be x isolated because cancel out. X will be isolated. So I have 1 over 2 divided by 2. So before you solve this, I'm going to change 2 to a fraction by putting over 1. Then x will be 1 over 2 divided by 2 over 1. So remember, keep, change, flip method. So let's do it. Keep the first number, change the middle, and flip the next number. Then x will be 1 over 2 times 1 over 2. So the answer will be 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 2 is 4. The answer will be 1 over 4. So this is the final answer. Next question. Again, we're going to isolate k. To do that, we're going to isolate the term with k. Okay? To do that, we have to get rid of minus 1 over 2. So let's add 1 over 2. Add 1 over 2. Then I get k over 3 equals, this will be cancelled. So k over 3 equals minus 1 and 3 over 4 plus 1 over 2. Okay, let's calculate this. When you have a mixed number, you always need to change it to improper fraction. Okay, let's change it to improper fraction. So 7 over 4. So do you guys remember how to change this to an improper fraction? So you simply multiply 1 and 4 together and add 3. So this is how you change mixed number to an improper fraction. Then minus 7 over 4 plus 1 over 2. Let's make a common denominator by multiplying this by 2. Then I have minus 7 over 4 plus 2 over 4. Right, so I want you to remember this. When you have negative fraction, you can move the negative sign to the top or to the bottom. Does not really matter. So basically, when you have negative 7 over 4, negative 7 over 4, that is same as negative 7 over 4 or 7 over negative 4. You can use one of those. But I want to keep the same denominator, so I'm going to use this one, right? Then this will be negative 7 over 4 plus 2 over 4. Okay, then everyone, negative 7 plus 2, that is negative 5 over 4. And now you're going to isolate k. To isolate k, you have to multiply 3. So let's multiply 3 both sides. On both sides, we're multiplying 3. And this will be cancelled. K will be isolated. So when you multiply 3 to a fraction, you have to make a fraction too. So that will be 3 over 1. The answer will be negative 15 over 4. Okay, negative 15 over 4. So if you change this to a mixed number, that will be negative 3 and 3 over 4. Alright, next question, C. Again, we want to isolate x. But to do that, we're going to isolate the term with x. So add 2.5, add 2.5. Then x over 2.8 will be isolated. And negative 3.7 plus 2.5 is negative 1.2. Right, and now we're going to isolate x by multiplying 2.8 on both sides. So if you put this number into your calculator, x equals negative 3.36. So this will be your answer. Let's move to the your turn questions. Letter A, letter B, and letter C. I want you to pause the video and I want you to try those 3 questions by yourself. Okay, letter A. What we're going to do first is we're going to isolate the term with y, and then we're going to isolate y. Okay, let's isolate 2y. We're going to subtract minus 1 over 2 minus 1 over 2 from both sides. Then 2y will be 3 over 4 minus 1 over 2. Okay, then common denominator. Multiplying 2. Then I have 2y equals 3 over 4 minus 2 over 4. I want you to write everything again. So some students skip this step, but I want you to actually write everything to avoid making mistakes. Okay, so write 2y equals, what is this? 3 over 4 minus 2 over 4. That is 1 over 4. So write down every single steps. Okay, so I want to get rid of multiplying 2. So what we're going to do is dividing 2. Then this will be cancelled. And 1 over 4 divided by 2 is the same as 1 over 2 divided by 2 over 1. Okay, y will be 1 over 4 divided by 2 over 1. Again, every single step. Write down every single step. Y will be 1 over 4, keep, change, flip. Then the answer, y is 1 over 8. So this will be your answer. Next, isolate n. To isolate n, we have to isolate the term with n. But to do that, we're adding 3 over 4. Then this will be cancelled. I get 2 over n over 2. 2n 3 over 8 plus 3 over 4. Alright everyone, we're going to change this to an improper fraction. And that will be 2 times 8 plus 3 plus 3 over 4. Again, write down every single step. Then n over 2 equals, so let's calculate this. 2 times 8, 16, plus 3, 19, over 8, plus 3 over 4. Now everyone, make common denominator by multiplying 2 on both numerator and the denominator. Okay, then it will be n over 2 equals 19 over 8 plus 6 over 8. Alright, n over 2 is 25 over 8. So we're almost done. Now we're going to isolate n. So multiply 2, multiply 2. Remember, when you multiply 2 to a fraction, you change it to a fraction. So 2 over 1. This will be cancelled. I have n isolated. 25 times 2 is 50. 8 times 1 is 8. So the answer is 50 over 8. But we're not done yet. We're going to reduce it by dividing both the numerator and denominator by 2. And that will be 25 over 4. So n is 25 over 4. If you change this to a mixed number, that will be 6 and 1 over 4. Okay, last question. I have h over 1.6 plus 3.3 equals 1.8. Let's isolate h over 1.6. We're going to subtract 3.3 from the both side. Then that will be negative 1.5. Alright, to isolate h, we're going to multiply 1.6 on both sides. Okay, and I want you to put this into your calculator. Then your answer will be negative 2.4. Alright, so thanks for watching. I want you to do your homework now.